There's something kind of funny about how the best-known game on the PC Engine never got released outside of Japan. Okay, there's a good chance you didn't know that Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego was released on the PC Engine. But if you're the kind of person who's willing to watch a video catalog of every PC Engine game, then you are almost definitely familiar with it. The most popular edutainment game ever released, a staple of school computer labs for 40 years, has had 3 different television series, and one of the most recognizable icons in gaming. Though the PC Engine version comes just before they gave her the iconic red hat and trench coat look. Still, it's possible that there's some of you out there who aren't familiar with Carmen Sandiego. So let me fill you in. Well, she sneaks around the world, from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you on a ride on a slow boat to China.
Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
Or to put it more succinctly, Carmen Sandiego is the head of Vile, a criminal organization known for stealing national treasures. And not small ones either. It's not uncommon for them to walk off with entire monuments. It's the player's job to follow their trail, identifying the culprit before they catch up with them, and recovering the stolen goods. Something that you're going to notice immediately is that I'm playing the game in English. There is an English or Japanese option when you start the game, though there's only one save slot and it's common between them. There is one small difference between the 2 language versions: the icon that's used to access the on-disk almanac. English has it as a book, Japanese has it as a scroll. Regardless of what language you're playing in, the almanac is always totally in Japanese. When you start a case, it's Monday morning, 8 a.m., and you're in the city that the item was stolen from. You have until Sunday evening to catch the criminal. There are 3 primary tools for your investigation, and those are the top 3 icons on the right. Starting in the middle, the magnifying glass gives you 3 locations to investigate. Of course, visiting any of those will eat up some of your precious time. If you're in a city where the criminal has been, you'll always get some kind of clue to their next destination. And if they're in that city, you'll get a warning until you stumble onto their location. Now, even if you know right away from the first clue where they're headed to, you'll probably still want to visit additional locations. And that's because sometimes these people will at random give you an additional clue. Not to their destination, but to their identity. You start out knowing if they're male or female, and then you can pick up clues to know their hair color, hobbies, distinguishing features, what type of car they drive, and favorite style of cuisine. Usually, you need 3 clues to identify the criminal, and at least until the game starts picking up its difficulty, you'll likely only get 3 clues before you've caught up to them. At the lower difficulty levels, they just don't run as far. So when you're ready to identify the criminal, you click on the computer, and here you can input all of the clues that you've... One of the clues is missing. Yeah, favorite cuisine is not in the list of things that you can select. What seems likely to have happened is that developer Office Kokon brought over data from Where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego, which does have favorite cuisine, but then didn't implement the ability to use that clue. This is something that's broken on both the English and Japanese sides. That means there's about a 20% chance that a given case is unsolvable. It happened to me twice while I was recording. Okay, I guess technically you could start building all of your own henchman profiles and include the food, then just select an attribute that you didn't get a clue for in order to identify them. But that is a lot of work that the game is supposed to be doing for you. If you have enough characteristics that you can narrow things down to just one person, then you're given a warrant for their arrest. And when you eventually catch up with them, if the warrant has the correct name on it, then you close the case. Close enough cases, and you advance the difficulty. And of course, you won't be able to go after Carmen Sandiego until you're a top detective. To follow these criminals around the world, you go to the airplane, and that will give you a selection of world capitals that you can reach from that city. If you think you know where to go, select it, and then getting to that destination will take some flight time. Because the flights are a network, with every city having a handful of destinations that it can reach, if you've gotten it wrong, you probably need to go right back to where you came from, and then try again. There are a lot of clues about national flags, so I hope you know those. It gets kind of absurd when you visit all 3 locations at a city, and then all 3 tell you what the flag looks like. Hey, 2 of my possible destinations have red, white, and blue flags. You gotta give me something else to go on. As for the other buttons on the interface, the metal tells you what rank you are and how many cases you have to close to advance. And then you can turn on and off the music that plays when you arrive at a new city. That music turns off when you scroll the screen on, so unless you leave the controller just sitting there, you only ever hear the first couple seconds of what are often very long songs. And speaking of that scrolling, you've probably also already noticed that it is extremely slow. Like, painfully slow for no good reason. And of course, there's no option to increase the text speed. The PC Engine port of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego is the first video game made by Office Kokon. As a developer, they'd barely be a blip in the records, except for one thing. They made one of the most notoriously bad RPGs ever created. These are the people responsible for Maka Maka on the Super Famicom, a game notorious for its bugs, terrible writing, and weirdly crude content. Fortunately for me, they only made one other PC Engine game, and we won't be seeing it for a long time. Now, although the cover of the box, the disc, the title screen, all have the name of the game in English, there is an official Japanese title for this one, Carmen Sandiego Ooe Sakai Hen, which could be translated as Chase Carmen Sandiego, World Edition. Using that on everything probably would have gotten them some more sales. Yeah, this doesn't seem to have been an especially popular PC Engine game. Carmen Sandiego might be one of video games' greatest icons in the US, but for whatever reason, it didn't really catch on in Japan. This was the first Carmen Sandiego game released there, and you can kind of understand why there wasn't a big reaction. This port's got a lot of hang-ups that would make any kid take the disc out and put in something else. Still, the Carmen Sandiego cartoons did get a Japanese release, so it's not like she's completely unknown there. And like I said, this is a bad port of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. This is one of the most ported games ever created, and remade more times than I can count. So if you really want to relive those computer lab days, you could play just about any other version and have a lot better time. Of course, after all of that, there's just one more thing left to say. Do it, Rockapella!
She'll ransack Pakistan and run a scam in Scandinavia. Then she'll stick 'em up down under and go pickpocket worth. She put the missing misdemeanor when she stole the beans from Lima. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.